Hi, Ann. Welcome to the Colorado Food Magazine Season 3. We're here with Ann Alba. She's the Vice President and Resident Manager of the Broadmoor Hotel, the one and only 100-year plus, 5-star, 5-diamond
Indeed.
hotel. Correct?
Well, correct, John. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Welcome to our little home away from home.
That's an understatement of the day. We love coming here because we want to show the excellence that you see, that you know, and that I've seen demonstrated here through the culture, through the leadership, and just through the management programs. We've interviewed several chefs. We've interviewed Krista just talking on the phone, and we've been here a couple times undercover.
Oh, it's good to know. They kept that secret from me.
Not truly undercover, but just people come by and eat.
Yes.
Because I recommend that. And I'm like, how was your experience? And it's always been top notch, magnificent.
Love
it
that.
shows no matter what time of day, what time of year, that culture of excellence continues. So kind of tell me a little bit about your background.
Absolutely, John. So I started in food and beverage, actually, was raised in a bar, and I don't say that selectively. I'll keep it a secret, would you please?
Yeah.
Raised in a bar since I was 2 years old. My father built a bar and a restaurant, and my brother still carries on the tradition 57 years later. So when I started here 36 years ago, I started in food and beverage and banquets, and trained by some of the masters. My mentors had been here 40 years and 35 years and 38 years. Generational guests, generational team that I worked among. So really was learning from some of the best. And I thought from my little hometown of 10,000 people and a little hometown factory bar to the Broadmoor, I had really was in awe, and I still feel that way. You know, when you walk through the doors and you look at the history, you look at who we've served over the years, you look at the honor of carrying on the tradition of the Broadmoor, it's pretty magical.
It is, and I'm pretty amazed at the continuation of excellence, because that's the key. And what do you attribute that here? We talked a little about the ownership and and we can talk a little about that. And what do you attribute? That goes all the way down from not only the top levels, all the way to the chefs I've seen.
Oh, absolutely.
We interviewed Rosia, we interviewed Mario, who participated in our Hispanic Top Chef.
That's right,
and
yes.
We saw the excellence there. And I just see it. And my goal at the Hispanic Restaurant Association, the Colorado Food Magazine, and the Latin Food Network, we all are all part of that, different components of our organization, is to show places like this, a 5-star diamond place. You know the excellence with the Hispanic Latin community.
Absolutely.
And the culinary world, and you recognize it. You recruit all over the world for them, for the Hispanic community.
Yes.
I see the path of progression here, your apprenticeship program, and just the excellence. So what do you attribute that to? How do you guys keep that going for 100 years plus?
104 years. So.
Right.
It has to be the baseline for everything. So whether you are hired as a banquet server or an executive, everyone has the same goal, and that's to serve. So 104 years, longest running 5-star, 5-diamond, and since the awards were given. So, since the beginning, we've held the honor of carrying on the baton of excellence. So the difference between a great restaurant or a great hotel or a great resort and a good resort is excellence. It's those tiny, tiny details that I think are so hard to achieve, because everybody can operate at a certain level of good, or you're expected to, but to take it to the luxury level and the excellence that really the Broadmoor has stood for 104 years are the details, the courtesies, we're an independent resort, so we've always been very proud of the one and only Broadmoor. Being prideful is one thing as far as our service, but also being humble in the fact that no matter our title, we are all servers. I take great pride in just watching our team execute. So you mentioned the chefs that you have already gotten to meet, and some along the day that you'll also get to meet. There is not only pride in what they do, but the team that works for them. We're a family. Some places say family, and they use the word loosely.
Yeah, that's true.
We say family, and we mean it. We're there through good times and bad times, and we've got employees that have been here 36 years like me. up to a 64-year employee. So
Oh, wow. That's
how
a
do
long
you,
time.
yes, and how do you hold on to employees like that? It's because of the culture. It's the family
The leadership.
atmosphere.
I
But the
just,
training as
then I
well.
mean, you have to train to excellence. As I
Yes, you
tell
do.
everybody, we had Chef Fernando Stobel
Oh my
recently
goodness.
here. He was the only Mexican chef that was the executive chef for the Queen of England,
Love that.
and he that's a magnificent attribute to him.
Mm-hmm.
But we talked about rising to the level of excellence, and that's one of the goal we're trying to hear. And I see you guys do that regularly.
Mm-hmm.
I've just recently finished an audiobook called Unreasonable Hospitality, which is really
Interesting.
high. And I see a lot of it here. It's those small details. Talk about, if you know about the apprenticeship program, and what do you see in the Latin Hispanic culinary teams that highlight that excellence?
Hard work, ethics, showing up every day ready to roll. So we have had such great success from our apprenticeship. But in the Latin community in general, when you look at, Chef Trujillo, who was our executive chef, we spoke briefly about him being on a submarine and learning how to cook on the sub, and then working under Chef Louis Strada and becoming our executive chef, and really representing the culture so well, representing our hotel. But again, started with learning and the training and the apprenticeship that even was back in his day very
Right.
important. So recruiting the right people from the schools, really hiring the right people from different countries. But when you have the opportunity to work alongside our executive chef, our executive sous chef, to be trained along the way, to work up in season 19 different kitchens.
I know,
There
that's
is
amazing.
amazing. And so the level of exposure that our teams get is tremendous. The level of training underneath the different chefs who all have different styles, different personalities, but really all represent the same thing, and that's quality.
That's that North Star of quality, hospitality, unreasonable hospitality. You
I
use
love that title.
I
I
like
love
that.
it.
I'd encourage everybody to read it. I mean, I've been telling everybody, that's one of our, now going to be our recommended books. It was recommended to me because we're in the hospitality business.
That's right.
And our goal is we're going to have all our chefs, just read it, because it shows the culture of excellence.
Standards, consistency,
Exactly.
all of that. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
What's your favorite part about being here?
Oh, easy thing. It's watching the impossible plan come into play. So every day you look at our hotel, so it's 784 rooms. It's over 5,000 acres if you're counting our 7 falls. 19 restaurants during heyday, 315,000, give or take, square feet of meeting space. A lot. And so watching this team in action every single day and really create miracles against all odds. You wonder.
I love that.
Yeah, you wonder how things happen in every nook and cranny. The kitchens are, crazy busy. The holidays, I'm sure you walked around today
yeah.
and just saw the volume of people. But every day our team arrives ready to serve, ready to deliver the excellence that we're talking about. And we're an independent hotel. We have to carry on our name. There's no one else to do it.
Right, and you have
and
to
our
do it.
reputation.
Right, to have it 100 years running plus, 104 to be exact.
Yeah, to be exact.
That's got to be, what type, I mean, talk about the leadership here. What talk about the culture because it has to come from down. Otherwise, you can't show up one day and we're going to be a 5-star hotel. Right. It has to be the excellence when nobody's looking. How do you communicate that to everybody?
I'll start with our ownership. We're written into a 100-year trust. And so that means we'll never change hands again as an independent, except for the family who now owns us. And you have a hardworking owner who loves to walk the halls of this hotel and see our employees in action. Our president, who came from the business, started in a bag room of the Greenbrier and worked his way up to president. To myself, who was raised in a bar, we all are working managers and leaders.
What do you
We're out
love
on the
about
floor.
hospitality? Sorry.
Everything about hospitality. I love the people we meet. I love the dance that we do every day on stage,
The organized chaos almost?
Oh, absolutely. And, no day is ever the same. Right. Never, ever monotonous. It's amazing. And, you don't like to show too much behind the magic screen because that's where the magic begins out here.
Right, I understand that. Yeah.
But to watch the craziness that really we have to make everything happen each day is so fun and exciting. And I think we all get in the business because none of us want to sit at a desk. We want to see it in action. We want to be there greeting our guests and, at the functions and really watching the theater of hospitality.
What I really love about you guys, and say our mission statement of the Hispanic Restaurant Association, what we do is to educate, or our vision statement is to educate and elevate the Hispanic community across a multi-generational spectrum. And what we talked about, what I see here is the young chefs, the middle-aged chefs, the older chefs, and they all exude that excellence. And I know your leadership, the culture recognizes the excellence. And one of our goals is to show the world what's going on there. And it's excellent. So I just love what you guys are doing. And that's why we came back for a second and third time. Just trying to show that it can be done at a corporate level, at a small restaurant level, and an entrepreneur level. That's part of our goal. The Hispanic Latin community, obviously, as we both know, is known as one of the great stereotypes is the hard work and the ethics and get the job done. Now our goal, we want to channel that, part of that energy into educating themselves and training, and you guys do that. And that's why I'm back here for the third time, trying to okay, they're doing something very right.
Every day, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of our multicultural family that we have. We serve international guests. We're an international employee base, international family. Absolutely.
And that's what I see, and I really, really love that. And so I commend you guys for that.
Thank you.
I wouldn't, like I said, for the fourth time, it seems like that I would not have come back for the third or fourth time to tell the world about what an excellent job you guys are doing.
Well, and you've seen the people that we hire. You can teach anything. The education is something that we focus on, absolutely. On-the-job training, our curriculum that we have through here, the colleges that we're associated with, CIA and, recruiting all across the world. But most importantly, we've hired the right people. We've hired people who care, because I think you can teach everything else. You can't teach pride, and you can't teach a caring heart. And we have the right base for that every day.
What would you want to tell the Hispanic Latin community across the world, as we can translate this into Spanish, why they would want to be here? Come to us.
Come to us because of not only our legacy, our tradition, but really the community that we have as Broadmoor family, and that's important in the culture, isn't it? Family and taking care of each other, and that's what we're known for. I think, there's so many great brands out there, there's so many great hotels, there's legendary properties, but really I know after 36 years what it means to be family, and for the Hispanic and the Latino community, just coming here, I think people understand it quickly and immediately. We walk the walk.
Yeah, exactly. Walk the walk and do everything necessary. And I would encourage you, as I talk to people of the Latin community out there, to apply, to look.
Absolutely.
To show that the Broadmoor really does walk the walk. And I just want to tell them, take a look.
And to know the possibilities,
There you go, perfect.
Possibilities
the path of
are
progression.
endless. Absolutely.
The star is the North Star. The stars are the limit here.
Well, everyone chose college. I chose the Broadmoor.
Oh, did you?
And so after my education was a 12th grade education, and I learned from the mentors. And I tell people this because it's important to know that hard work, education, on-the-job education.
So let's amplify on that. So you didn't go to college?
No, I did not. No,
and you're
vice president of the hotel. Yeah,
that is amazing.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Manager and vice
that shows
president.
excellence. And you're educated.
Thank you.
You may just not have it at a
That's
credential.
Right. That's right.
That's
but
pretty amazing.
I really learned from the masters. And I've spent 23 years in the seat of executive, 5 years before that as hotel manager. But all of the rest was food and beverage. And it was really, doors opening in this business because they opened. I was willing to learn. I really wanted to learn as much as I could. I absorbed as much as I could. And the mentors were here to take care of that.
That is an incredible story. I commend you for that.
Thank you.
So one of our goals, we have this leadership model called the 5 pillars.
Love that.
And that's the first start is the cultural ethos. That just talks about what you bring to the table, the culture, who you are, for good or for bad.
Right.
And then we have leadership at all levels. Leadership 101, from the worker to the executives. there's just the sophistication and complexity of those decisions change according to the level and as they
Absolutely.
progress. And we try and teach that. The next part is education. Not only the credentialed side, but self-education, what you're learning. And obviously you've succeeded, wildly. And that's pretty incredible.
Absorbed everything I
Exactly.
could,
You
you know.
educated, you have your professional, you have your technical education. I mean, I just have to commend you for that.
Thank
That's pretty
you.
incredible.
And those times haven't changed. That's another message to everyone. There's leaders here that are hungry to take people under their wing and learn and show them what they've known and talk about the path that we've all had, because the path is so important. We're like a city under one roof here.
Yeah, I believe that. And then also there's teamwork at all levels.
Oh, at all levels.
And then relationship
Yes.
building. And it's
and real teamwork. Every day is hard work. There's no questioning that, but it's so worth it. Real teamwork through good times and bad.
Yeah.
Through successes and challenges.
That's what makes a good team. And so I read a book called Team of Teams by General Stanley McChrystal. It's about the special operations community in the U.S. military. But you have a lot of that here, decentralized. Everybody knows the mission. Everybody knows what's going on.
The purpose.
And you help it. Exactly. And then the last part was that relationship building at all levels. And you guys do a good job there, because I noticed everybody talks to everybody and acknowledges everybody. That's that key component.
So important,
Exactly.
the basic etiquette of hospitality, being hospitable, right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
An open door. I think all of us, the main thing I enjoy as a leader here is this, being out, walking across the bridge, checking in with our team, walking through the kitchens, walking through housekeeping, and then again, watching the magic happen when we implement,
Wow.
So, the worst part is sitting at a desk.
So I say flying a desk. I
That's
don't
right,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, but I just have to commend you, the Broadmoor, Krista, everybody that I've met so far. So what would you tell an 18-year-old you coming to a place like this?
Make that decision. Don't second guess it, and never doubt what you can do just by being in the right place and working hard and being willing to learn. I think there's doubt as to when a door opens, am I ready to take it? Am I going to succeed? Am I going to make everybody proud? That's one thing you want to do. If somebody opens a door for you and has confidence in you, know you're ready to take it, and know that everyone is here to also make sure you succeed. So.
What book would you recommend to them? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, yeah, you are
I
on that
forgot
one.
this. I forgot.
Well, you know what? I have to tell you, it's been a while since I've read a book that was specifically
Or podcast or something.
Culture Code, probably. The
Okay,
Culture
well,
Code,
very good.
yes,
That's a good
because
one.
we all read that as a leadership team just recently. And, I've had the opportunity to meet many leaders and, those who have written books and had their books, but that was the most recent one, Culture Code. And really speaking just about, people who were maybe not natural born leaders, but had something inside them to make them the leaders from all different walks of life, and very relatable, easy read, which was good in my world. So yeah, Culture Code.
Is that the one thing you drew out of that book that you can remember? Or something that you particularly like besides what you just said?
I think the fact that you can't be a great leader if people aren't going to follow. So it's not, as a leader, sometimes I think the worst mistake you can have is letting ego lead for you because your title has changed or your duties have changed. People look for the person that they have watched grow up into the business or have watched make a difference perhaps in the business. Don't change yourself constitutionally,
Okay.
Be the leader that you were put in the position to be, and don't let ego rise above that.
Be the leader
Titles
that you would
really
want
matter
to be.
nothing, right?
Exactly. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for everything. I appreciate
My
you
goodness,
being here.
thank you.
No, this is awesome. You kind of led into the question I was going to ask. What makes a great leader?
Be humble. Be with your team at all times, through, like I said, good and bad, and also be real. I think that one thing we all don't like admitting is that we don't know everything, and that we all make mistakes as leaders too. And I think you have to be honest with your team when you have either brought your best or you have an opportunity to do better. And I think the team appreciates that. And also learn from your team. They're the experts. They're the ones who are doing it every single day.
Yep.
especially in the kitchen, right?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. I so appreciated
You
it,
too.
John.
Thank
Thank
you.